The following podcast may be explicit. Shedcast presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Welcome back to Perils of Parandisi, our continuing Dungeon World campaign. The five heroes are together on the road to Kingsbury when their campsite is attacked during the first night of travel. Let's see how they handle it. Enjoy the podcast.
Hi, and welcome back to the Shed for Adventures from the Shed. I'm Joe, and I'm the game master for this Dungeon World campaign, Perils of Parandisi. I think I said it right this time. We're going to say hi to everybody. We'll start with Mickie.
Hi, everyone. I'm playing Demaya, and I'm going to attempt to play Dungeon World in this session.
Do or do not.
JJ
there is
here.
no try.
JJ here, playing Strong Don, and all I can say is get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
I'm Chris. I'm a guest here today, and I appreciate the invite, and I'm playing Aglinor the Bard.
Hey, this is Kurt. I am playing Shadrock, the shape-shifting druid who cannot say Aglinor's name right to save his life.
Except for right now.
Yeah, except
right
for now.
then.
Right.
And this is Mike Robertson playing Snickle Fritz Bombus Fritzy to his friends. And
Oh, Fritzy.
yep.
Fritzy.
And we're gonna get going. Look, everybody,
All right.
it's Fritzy.
All right, when we last left our party. Meanwhile, back at the Halls of Justice, we had set up a camp, and we had Shadrock on watch, and he noticed sounds coming from the woods, saw that there were some, unfortunately, reanimated animals, undead, bears, I think it was a wolf, and bobcat. And they were approaching the camp. He went back and notified everybody, and now defenses have kind of been prepared. People have positioned themselves around the camp. And we have, as we start up, we have right at the edge of the woods, right at the edge of your vision, you see the reflection of these animal eyes coming out of the woods. And you hear these murmured voices from behind that line of animals. You can't quite make out what they are. Now, up at the vantage point, that who was getting up on top of the wagon? Somebody?
I was getting
I'm
up
sorry,
high.
Fritzy,
Yep.
you had gotten up to the top of the wagon. You see behind the row of shapes that are different sizes that would probably be those animals. Behind that, it looks like a couple of dwarf size, that height, dwarf halfling height perhaps, other figures marching in a line behind the undead animals.
Okay. And how are they walking? Are they walking like dwarves, or are they walking like undead?
They're walking like
Christopher.
somebody who is walking the second line of the advancing army,
Okay.
kind of prodding along, just kind of keeping the shields in front of them, so to speak. That's what it looks like.
Is he the only one who sees this?
From his vantage point, yes.
Okay.
He's got a nice view down above, past everyone else. You've got the the darkness of the forest with the tree canopy, and you barely see shapes and those reflective animal eyes coming out of the darkness.
So if I can, Shadrock would like to turn into an owl.
An
this
owl?
time. A barred
Okay.
owl. And
Bowl.
a barred owl to fly to the extent that he can behind the front lines to see, particularly looking to see whether there are any human wizards, necromancers, leaders of any kind behind the undead.
Targets.
Yes.
Okay.
May I roll?
Yes, you will.
I rolled a 9 plus my wisdom is 11.
11.
I'm rolling well today.
That gives you how many hold for your shapeshifting?
That gives me 3 holds.
All right. So the big reason for turning into the owl was for the night vision.
For the night vision, and particularly looking to see if there are leaders of this.
So Shadrock takes flight. Tell me, what does it look like when you do this? Do you like hop up into the air and turn into the owl and go, or do you turn into the owl, flop to the ground, then fly up? Or what's your style?
Yeah, I'm at this point in my life, as a younger man, I was Shadrock the Lame, but now that I've discovered my druidic powers and had my 2 years in the wilderness, I'm a fairly studly and smooth dude. So I basically take a step or two and jump, and as I'm jumping, I transform into a beautiful, smooth, powerful owl.
Oh, it's majestic.
And
really.
owls, as you may know, are almost silent when they fly. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to notice me. I'm trying to be smooth. I'm skirting the edge to get behind them.
All right, so I like this. You've described more of what you're looking for out of the owl. So what I'm going to ask you for is you're going to use 2 holds. One, to not be noticed at all.
Okay.
By what you've described. And then the second will be, I'll give you a better picture of what you see. In flying overhead, you see right down in between the tree branches and the foliage, there are approximately 10 or so animals of different sizes and shapes marching in almost a perfect line. Another thing you don't see in nature, right? This is all wrong. And behind them, it looks like about 3 dwarves. There might be 4. They're kind of walking in and out of trees. And they're all kind of standing behind the skeletons, but it looks like they have some form of the skeletons, the animals. Looks like they have some form of control over them. It's like when they walk a step slower, the animals move a step slower. There's something linked there.
But there's no one behind the dwarves.
Nothing past that.
And
And
I'll circle back.
I will give you just enough time to get back before they arrive at the camp.
Okay, so I circle back and tell Fritzy that.
Okay. And how do you react to that? Now the animals step into the light of your campfire, and they don't appear to be stopping, but they do appear to be rotting.
I'm gonna take a peek out there and pick one.
Yeah.
Possibly the bobcat.
Sure.
And I'm gonna be finger guns and
Pew pew.
nail him with the magic missile.
All right, let's go for
Hopefully
it.
turn him into a bomb cat.
Oh, snap.
I get it.
Oh,
Not today.
Starts off with a 1 and a 1.
Snake eyes.
So he's ready
Your
to
fingers
level
blow
up.
off.
Fritzy loses his left hand.
We're going.
Fritzy, what'd you see?
Both of his fingers
I
just
saw
go.
some stuff.
All right, so what we're going to do with this one, for now, you're going to keep Magic Missile because I want you to be able to have something like this happen again. And let's see, the Magic Missile goes off, and as that shoots right above the heads of the animals, and now you see the dwarves with the glow of the Magic Missile, they all turn their eyes directly towards you, and they
Again.
kind of form into a wedge and head in your direction.
Mighty Ducks
So
flying.
who
This
wants
is
to?
going like the last one, and we need this to not happen.
So who wants to step in and help protect Fritzy?
So Fritzy,
I will.
have you said anything to anyone, or are you just kind of you?
Oh, we all see this.
If everybody
end
is
of the
right
last
at the
one,
wagon at
I
the
yelled
camp,
that-
you would hear Shadrach tell Fritzy what was going on.
Okay, so we do hear that.
And now everybody with that nice bright purple magic missile with a swirly tail behind it lights up the scene and points a line directly back to him. You see what's happening now too.
Okay, you were gonna say something.
I was going to be the head pin that these flying V is trying to tackle.
So you're going to step right in front.
Yep.
And what is it you're going to do? Is the point to be protective, or are you attacking?
The point is
How are
to
you
shatter
doing?
their formation.
Okay. So you're just going to step right in front and just try and hurt somebody?
Yeah,
Knock
just
something
kind
out?
of make it so that their formation been there's
Okay.
vulnerabilities inside their formation.
Okay, so knock out the first one.
Yep.
Let's start right up with a hack and slash then.
A hack and slash.
And what was the weapon that Strong Dawn ended up with?
He has a big great axe. It's a half moon great axe.
Okay. So swinging it right at the, we'll say it's the bear right at the center of the formation.
And remember, hack and slash
Nasty,
is plus
stinky
your
bear.
strength.
Yep. So you'll roll and
8.
add your strength modifier.
You rolled an 8.
Okay, so 8 on the hack and slash says, go ahead and read it from the
Oh, my
basic
bad.
move sheet. Yeah.
On a 7 to 9, you deal your damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you.
There you go. So go ahead and deal your damage.
Remember, remember you have
And the
plus your-
barbarian has what for a damage die?
Die 10.
All right.
Plus
so we're
the
gonna start
carry
with the
forward.
10.
Yeah, plus the D4.
And
10 damage.
Chris, if you don't mind, I think I left my notepad over there, and hopefully
you
I
get
left
the
the
extra
pencil
D4.
with it.
You did.
And you get the extra
You got that.
I'll take that.
Gotcha.
Because my tablet isn't working for me to take notes, so I have to write on paper.
Oh, so old-fashioned.
Old school.
That's
D8 on your
crazy.
inside. Or were you rolling a D10 or a
D10.
D8?
D10.
All right, and what was your total damage?
10 damage.
10 damage. All right. So the axe just swings down and pretty much cleaves the bear
Now,
into.
you also
Nice.
have some. You also have some tags, right? With your weapon, messy.
Oh,
and
yeah,
forceful.
I'm messy and forceful, which I'm not sure what those mean.
Even better. They are essentially messy means when you hit something, you make a mess of it.
Okay.
All right. And then forceful means when you hit it, you probably launch it a few feet in one direction as well.
Oh, nice.
So in this case, you cut the bear in half and bones and bits of flesh go flying off in that direction, and parts of the bigger skeleton of the bear, the mass of it knocks over the wolf right next to it.
Oh, nice.
Ew.
Now that he's gotten that guy out of the way, can I see one of the dwarves behind the formation? Okay,
Yes, you
I want to
can.
take a shot at him
Okay.
with my bow.
Go right ahead.
Did the bear get an attack back on me?
In this case, there's something else that's going to happen.
Okay.
8, a 9.
A 9 does hit. That's a volley, and on a 9, you have to choose one of those things under the volley.
Let's see. I have to either move to get the shot, placing me in danger. I take the shot at minus 1d6 damage. I have to take several shots, reducing my ammo. I'll reduce my ammo.
Okay.
So I'll take a shot here. So I only did 1 point of damage anyways.
All right, and you're
kinda
taking a
suck
shot at one of the dwarves standing in the back.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Now, while they're doing that, Demaya is she kind of blended into the background, but since she overheard Shadtastic tell Fritzy about the dwarves, she's going to try to sneak around, out, and behind the line to try to get close to the dwarves so that she can apply her poison,
Okay.
golden root.
All right, so let's take a couple of pieces here because you're going to do a couple of things that we want to address. First is you're going to sneak up around them, and that's going to be a defy danger with dexterity.
Okay.
We'll do that. So you're hidden, but you're kind of get up there and sneak up behind them.
So that's 2d6
Yes, it is.
plus.
Oh, you got
I
it.
got a 10 right on the dice. So I'm
Yeah.
good.
So pretty much anytime you do a 10 plus, exactly what you're describing happens. So the whole sneak up behind them just happened. Exactly as you wanted it.
So golden root is an applied poison, which means I need to actually touch them to apply it. And then if I touch them successfully, they treat the next creature they see as a trusted ally until proven otherwise.
Okay, now in this case, because of your roll to sneak up on them, you just use that.
Fantastic.
Now, how many uses of the poison
3.
do you
The
have?
dwarves are undead, and if so, can you poison undead things?
Well, so I think she's doing the
The dwarves,
dwarves, right?
yeah.
The dwarves,
Okay.
yeah.
Are
They did not appear to, and you're right up behind the guy now, ready to put your poison. Where would you touch him with it?
On the neck.
On the neck, okay. So you can see, and you can almost feel, as you get close enough, and he doesn't even notice you, you can feel the body heat coming off. of him.
Okay,
His
so
dwarf
these
farts.
guys,
Yeah.
I say, hey guys, where you been? We've been waiting for you.
So you're going to touch one of them first,
Yes.
and then chat it up.
There's 3 of them, right?
Okay. So
Can I
let me just say, too, as you approach, you hear them chanting something. And it's definitely something that you wouldn't be chanting.
I wouldn't be chanting.
Right.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan is awesome. So, okay, so I kind of
no,
see
these
this.
are good dwarves.
I kind of see this poison as like a salve. So she would as she's
Okay.
walking out, she'd reach into her adventure pack, apply them to her fingers, and then reach out and just kind of swipe 2 necks at a
Okay.
time.
Then make sure you use 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've used 2 of my poisons. I'm
Yep.
down to 1. So as they kind of feel, I kind of tap them and hey, what's going on? We've been waiting for you. Where have you been?
So the 2 of them turn to you, and they just have a big old surprised look on their face. And they mumble something in a language you don't understand, but they're smiling at you. So they turn around, they're like,
It's good language.
So now I need to kind of pantomime where you've been. Turn the animals
No,
around.
you just talk regular but louder.
and now the
Yeah.
other
Where
one,
have you
Where
been?
have you been?
The
We've
other
been
one
looking
has-
for you. You're gonna mess up my friends.
the
Tell
louder
your
you talk,
friend
the easier
over
it is to
there.
understand.
I'm pantomiming. Tell them to stop, cut it out, turn them around, sit.
The
Yeah.
other one doesn't even break stride, and he's still chanting something. And at that point, what's Fritzy up to?
All right, Fritzy.
So it's kind of obvious at that point what she has done, that she has distracted 2 of the dwarves. But the rest of it's still happening.
I'm able to see far enough that I saw her.
Yeah. Well, you saw once she stepped up and started talking to them, you could hear, and it was kind of obvious that's who it was.
Okay. Then I will try to recover from my magic missile and hit the last dwarf
Okay.
that is still chanting.
And is Shady resuming his normal human, right?
Yes.
I keep forgetting.
Oh my God!
Snake eyes again.
So, and
You are the
just-
worst ever.
Fritzy is the worst rolling character I've ever played with.
Yeah,
Just
did
as
you?
a
Have you
note,
leveled
too,
You guys, last week when it was just Mike and I, he rolled like this for the whole week.
the whole time?
Yeah.
in one session? He almost
Get
leveled.
rid of
He
those
failed so much.
dice.
Let me throw out here
They're cursed.
No, those are my dice. Don't throw them away. Don't use them, but don't throw them away.
You put some bad juju on that.
When
much
when
juju.
I'm running through the combat, one of the things I'll do, like when Mike said Fritzy was going to cast this magic missile, I for me it's now intuitive. I went to Kurt to say what Shadrock up to, and this is one of the things that was explained earlier. A failure doesn't necessarily mean it happens to your character. So his failure right now could be his magic missile hitting you, because I'm asking you what you're up to.
Right.
All right, so it's a failure of the party, so to speak. It's almost always a shared failure. It's not always, or often not something only to do with your character.
Dice
Mike
goes back
put
of
with
dice in the
that-
shame box.
I say now, when Shadrock came back and notified Fritzy, he went back to human form.
Yes.
And what was he up to next?
He was
So
holding
Fritzy is like
yeah.
fizzling, shooting stuff all over the place.
Right. He was holding his shillelagh
Yeah.
and planning to end run around the animals towards the dwarfs, kind of like Demaya did Hidden,
Yeah.
but just doing it.
Okay, so you're going to take off?
Sure.
Okay, so you're on your way there. Fritzy is, unfortunately, if you're going to roll twice in a row, the magic missile's gone. Sorry. Yeah. This happened last time. I'll let one failure go, but gosh, 2 in a row.
Dude.
So at this point, the sparks that should be leaving your hands kind of blow up at your hands, and you're temporarily blinded
Yay.
Blinded by the light.
by your own light.
Oh my goodness.
Wrapped up.
At least you're not revved up like a deuce.
Wrapped up like a douche, baby.
Aglanor, that dwarf you hit kind of shrugged off the arrow, and it still seems to be leading these undead animals forward. 2 of them have just gotten past Strong Dawn, but he's made a mess of a couple other ones.
I'm going to play my flute again, or my pipes again.
Blinded by the light?
No, that'd be to heal him. I'm not worried about him. I'm going to play Eye of the Tiger,
Okay.
and I'm going to give you another D4 damage again. But it's really lame. It's like doot, 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 doot.
On a flute.
So 7. Let's see, 9.
9. Okay.
Yep.
And for a bard on a 9, that's the one where it can reverberate, correct?
Yes, you draw unwanted.
my
It says you draw unwanted attention, or your magic reverberates to other targets, affecting them as well.
I like it because it fits something else I was going to do.
All right, so you now have a D4 extra damage again.
Yeah.
Now there's a tiger.
So what happens is, now there's an eye of a tiger. Just an eye, though.
Yeah, you just have the eye.
Strong Dawn, as that song fills you with that power you felt last time, you know you can hit something harder. That bear that you cleaved, that knocked itself, or the pieces went into the wolf.
Yeah.
That wolf has kind of chewed up a few of the bits of the bear and has become like a dire wolf. Now there's big spikes sticking out of it, and that song that he played, you could practically see the sound waves entering the wolf.
Nice.
Eye of the Tiger does that, man. You know, I have no control where the music takes me.
So while this is going on, can I tell you?
I had the wolf. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
Shady he's got a shillelagh, he's gonna end run around. He realizes that he's not gonna end run around 9 animals, so he's going to turn back into the same barred owl that he was before to fly over the line and try to use his talons to.
It's really sharp talons.
Don't owls have talons?
They
Yeah, they
mice
do.
and stuff.
They
yeah.
do. To
You know, just out of spite, crap out a mouse head on him. The skull. Don't they just crap out
You
the
can't say
skulls?
the word talons without people laughing because of Napoleon Dynamite. You can't do it.
oh,
Really large talons.
I'm trying to gouge the eyes and face of the third dwarf to distract him from whatever he is chanting.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh.
Not necessarily
I
to
can deal
do
with that,
damage,
sure.
but to distract.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Nice.
11 again, 13, baby.
Don't swap dice with Mike, whatever you do.
No touch, no touch, no touch.
Don't get the juju on him.
I'm never gonna level up.
but you're always going to get what you want.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Go
You don't need
figure.
to.
That's a good point. Good point.
Okay, so you transform into the owl, and you first mark off one of the holds right away, because we're going to use that for you to flutter about in front of his face and mess with his whatever he's doing. And at that point, Strong Dawn, that wolf that grew the extra spikes and everything was snapping at you, and it kind of looks distracted, and all the animals, they seem to start breaking their formation. What are you going to do? It was like there was a dog snapping at you, ready to eat you, and then someone threw a steak somewhere else.
Ooh.
It got distracted by something.
I'm in a battle rager. I want to cut it down.
Go for it.
While he's hacking and slashing.
Hack and slash
I'm
it.
trying to lead the two
That
dwarves
that
are-
gives me a
Oh,
6.
wait.
That's a failure.
A total of a 6 is a failure. So that wolf, in its distraction, you swing down at it, and as it leaps away, part of your axe gets caught in its skeleton. It rips your axe out of your hands, and it leaps in a different direction.
Okay.
So
And the other animals are kind of like, huh? What? Like every one of them had something else go off in its head, and they're just kind of looking around like, what the hell do I do? And those other dwarves are with Demaya, and they're definitely, it's like they want to hang out with you, but they don't speak your language.
yeah, so we need to revert to some sign language. So I'm like, hey, I've got some drinks back here. Come on, let's go. Boobs. Kind of push my cleavage together.
That's really all you need.
And they all grab their crotches at you.
That's really all she needs. I mean, come on. You know, you don't need the drinks and all that. Just boobs.
Yeah, they make the circle with one hand and penetrate it with the other hand. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
No, they're just a lot of.
Blah, 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 blah,
These
blah.
dwarfs sound like the Swedish chef from
But
the Muppets.
as you walk, they'll keep pace with you. They'll follow you. And it's just
Adventures.
yes. They're Swedish dwarf chefs.
Schwarfs.
So you've got them intrigued, and
Fantastic.
unless somebody else decides to mess with them, they're cool with you.
Fantastic.
Cool.
I'm a puppet master.
Okay, Fritzy, you're regaining a little bit of eyesight. The paparazzi just came out and took your picture. And so you've got dots all in front of your eyes.
That's Fritz, baby.
What's up? You can tell there's a difference in the tone of what's going on around you. There's no longer that kind of plodding, marching sound there was before.
I guess I'm going to try to charm the last one, since that's what I got left.
The one that's got the owl fluttering around in
Right
one of
in
his
the
face. Yeah. And that dwarf is like flailing his
Language is
arms
really
at the owl.
There you go.
All right. You did things.
Fritzy!
Look at Fritzy doing
an
things.
11.
Look at Fritzy doing things.
All right, so this is the first time. What does it look like and sound like when Fritzy charms a humanoid?
Fritzy's eyes go really, really white.
And then two hearts pop up.
Yeah. It's more like
And then
kissy faces.
it's
It's
It
like
gets weird.
cartoons.
And it's like there's like a boom, and then the guy's eyes
So you
go
speak
white
dwarf.
too. So
Okay.
he is under control.
All right, now read the spell out, please.
The person, not a beast or monster, you touch while casting this spell.
Oh, you got to
counts-
touch him.
Oh, I have to touch him.
Bad touch.
Then I'm not doing that. All right. Can I grab?
Because you actually rolled a success, I'll let you use it on something else.
Is
Now
there
that you already
anything
know
I
a
can
pre-success.
touch? I don't think there's anything.
Use it on
within
Gene.
touching.
Gene the dwarf. Since he was all whiny. And
Oh,
bitchy.
yeah. He's a dick.
By the way, those guys are kind of hiding behind the wagon, letting you guys handle stuff.
Useless.
Borden was his
They're
name.
there. Yeah, Borden.
Touch him and get him to go run at these monsters.
Kill the skeletons. I don't want to deal with skeletons.
All right.
With the killing and the slashing.
All right.
Nice wizard.
I got another idea. I will take one of the barrels off of the wagon.
Oh my, how strong are you? These are full casks of stuff.
Not very strong.
Oh.
But I think that I can
You've got
push
an
it.
adrenaline rush.
I think I can push it in a way
Okay.
that maybe it'll roll off the thing and like hit one of the animals as it's running away.
We will say, because it was a pre-success, we'll get the first part in motion. You're knocking or pushing the cask off the back of the wagon, and it starts rolling.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens next with Kurt. What's Shadrach? So you've got the dwarf distracted.
Yeah,
Are you
as long
going
as
to
I can.
continue to keep him
Yeah.
distracted? We'll use another hold.
Okay, so I have one left.
Yeah. So you're
Because that's what's causing the formation, right?
at this point. Yeah, that's what it would appear to be. Aglenor. Fritzy is apparently destroying the liquor.
Okay.
Well,
That's fine.
And the other stuff, you've seen everything progressing as it's going. She's got the Demaya has two. I can't remember the name. I'm glad you.
It's right on.
Gosh, Demaya has a couple of the dwarves under some sort of weird mind control.
Well, can I see what she's doing?
Yeah,
Okay. Because
she's talking really loudly at two dwarves who are going. "Blah, blah, 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 blah."
I was thinking about doing another damage boost to her in case she wants to start actually doing something to these things.
Okay,
So
so she's going to kick him in the nuts, and it's going to do an extra D4.
If she were to do damage to the third one, would that break the spell on the first two?
And she's nodding, and
Because
I would
it's giving
kind of
them a
agree.
reason not to treat them
because
as an ally.
specifically, the poison says on it,
All right.
"They're your ally until proven otherwise."
Okay.
I'm going to help Fritz. I'm going to
Okay.
help him push that thing,
Okay.
aim it, find a target, and all that. You know.
So he's pushed it off the wagon. It's rolling. You want to take over from there?
It's already in motion.
He's gotten it physically off of the wagon and it's rolling. You want to guide it towards something?
If it's possible.
Right now, it's not guided exactly at anything. It just got off the wagon and it's rolling.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely like
Okay.
to make it hit something.
So how does that play out? I'm thinking that's probably dexterity. It's an aiming kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use
Yeah.
that.
All right. 7, 8.
That's a success at least.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So you get the barrel aimed at maybe 3 or 4 of the animals that are there. There's a smaller bear that's there, and a coyote, and I think somebody said lion earlier. I think somebody said the word lion, so I'm going to put a lion in there. Why not?
PETA does not like this podcast.
No, not at all. Well, I don't know. If you give a second life to animals, is that not good?
Well, if you're
Or
going to kill
smush
them.
'em.
Well, that's a double death. So then it's good regardless. I
Okay.
guess, right?
Two negatives do not make
Is it a
positive
liger?
in this instance.
Is there a liger?
Oh,
Yes, it
there's a
doesn't
liger
matter.
here.
How
I'm
many
so fired
animals
up.
are there?
I have written down 8, so that's what I'm going with.
And we took one down?
Yep.
1 has been destroyed.
All right,
so
so-
you've got it lined up where it looks like it's headed towards at least 3 of them unless they go running off in
Okay.
different directions.
That was the goal.
All right, Strong Dawn, that wolf just jumped away with your axe.
Get back here!
What do you do?
I'm going to go chasing after it.
You're going to chase it? Go for it. So I would guess that that's going to be some sort of speed type of thing.
Sure.
And I'm going to use dexterity for that. How quickly can you move to catch him?
Fairly quickly.
Let's find out.
That is a 10.
God.
I would say yes. So you're immediately upon the wolf as it's like jumping in here or there, and you get right onto the wolf. You're able to grab your axe, and
All right.
then
I'm going to pull, and since it's already hooked into the spikes, I want to arrest its movement.
arrest. So you're just going to stop him.
Yep.
Okay, then you got it. You
Okay.
you grab your axe and you stop. The wolf is no longer jumping around. You're kind of holding it still.
Okay.
Okay, Fritzy.
All right. So I guess I'm just watching my
I'm
barrel.
just waiting for a success that means something. Everybody else has got something going.
I was just watching my barrel that
Yeah.
that I pushed off.
And Aglenor grabbed it and steered it in exactly the right direction that you would have.
All right. Then I guess I need to hop off, and I'm going to sort of follow that barrel. So, like, if it rolls over the animals and they're still good, I can, like, run up to it and
Punch 'em in
smack
the
it
head.
with a staff.
Okay.
And, like,
Kill 'em dead?
Kill them dead. And I know
double dead.
from the undead we did last time that I just need to knock them in the head. So I'm going to try.
It worked for you very well, yes. After
all about the
10,
headshots.
10 sequential failures, when you tried to knock him in the head, it worked just fine.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Fritzy's following the barrel down there, and Demaya, these two dwarves are still just hanging out with you. You want to keep it that way?
I'm kind of tired. They won't understand me. And I've
No,
been
but they're
trying for
not
a
doing anything.
They're really not
bad,
doing anything
right?
bad. I
It's,
don't know what to do.
Double dagger knife stab
That's
or
what-
throat stab.
So,
you
like,
know?
I'm like, all right, here we go. That's
we
that's
go.
exactly what I was thinking, because I've got daggers. So I'm like, look that over there. And as they turn their heads, she pulls out her daggers and slices across. Oops, sorry, both necks.
Okay.
to try to just take them out in one swipe.
Takes out their easel too.
I think that's kind of going to be the backstab move.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So I'm looking at. So go ahead and read backstab. If you
So
will.
with backstab, it says when I attack a surprised or defenseless enemy with a melee weapon, I can choose to deal my damage or roll plus dex. On a 10 plus, I choose 2 of the ones below. On a 7 through 9, I choose 1.
So here's the deal. Normally, when you attack a surprised or defenseless enemy, you just deal your damage. The thief has an option to do a lot more. So you could just deal your damage to them, but I can tell you as a matter of mechanics, your damage alone may or may not be enough to kill them. If you rolled like max damage, you might kill them. But doing the other stuff gives you other options.
All right, I'm gonna chance it. Why
Okay.
not? Let's roll. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Fuck. 8.
Well, 8 is still, you
It's
get to
not bad.
choose one of
You get
those
to choose
things.
one.
Eight's fine.
Right.
So if I choose one, I'm going to deal my damage plus a die 6.
Okay. And that's good.
So my damage is a
because you
D8.
have backstab, you're going to do more than
Yeah.
your damage. The thing is, we're going to let you do the D6 to only one of them, not the other.
Okay, so I roll. Wow. One of them gets a 5 and the other one gets a 2. There's no pluses to damage?
There
the other
is-
one gets a 3.
You do 3 to both, 2 goes to 1.
I do.
Because the
Yeah,
D6
3 to
is
1,
bonus.
2.
3 to 1, 5
3
to
to
the
1,
other.
5 to the other.
Okay.
Math
I'm going
hard.
to write down 5 and 3, and let's see if it sticks.
Me no likey.
Now, as soon as I do that, like if you
Yeah.
think about it, like in one fluid motion, she's practiced this a lot. So, her daggers are kind of like at the bit smaller her back. So she's like, oh, look over there. She pulls them out, slice, and then kind of like just does this cool roll and rolls away. So that when they're like, what happened? She's like gone.
So let's see how that works. That's going to be a defy danger, because you're defying the danger of them, well, just setting right upon you. And that's going to be a dexterity-based one from what you've described.
So is that 2 more?
Yeah.
Woohoo! 10.
10.
No,
Okay.
yeah, 10.
Okay.
All right.
So you do that successfully. So you get that stab in.
So I've got no
they're
XP
both,
yet.
They're both. No.
Okay.
You
Not
got
yet.
one.
Oh yeah, you did get one earlier. The
It's not like D&D,
the
though.
spout
You don't,
roar.
need,
Yeah,
you don't need the XP if you're doing well.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're being successful.
that's right.
So what's
So
happened?
that happens. You cut them both, and they both instead of the
Oh, man.
so they're definitely upset. It looks like their head's clearing. They see what's going on, and they look around. You're not there, and they start chanting again. And that whole mini army of undead animals seems to start being cohesive again.
So at that point, I'm fluttering in front of the third one. I still
And
have one hold.
You see what happens
right.
here.
So I want to attack with my talons, trying to deal damage,
Okay.
the one that she hurt worse.
So give me a hack and slash roll.
Okay, so hack and slash is my strength, which is a +1, so my total is 7.
7 will deal your damage, and they get to make an attack back on you.
My damage is a D6.
Yeah.
No additions.
No, just D6.
5.
5. Okay. As you hack at the eyes of that one of your talons catches into the throat wound that she gave it, and you kind of rip its neck open, and it's kind of nasty, but he's definitely out of it.
He's gushing.
Yeah. The one that you had been distracting turns around and grabs this, what looks like a ceremonial dagger or something, out of his waistband, and he swings it at you. And roll a d6, and you will take this damage.
6.
You can reduce it by your armor number.
5.
Okay.
So I go
So
from 19
your armor
hit
is
points.
1, right?
Yeah, so I go
Okay.
down to 5. So my hit points are going to go from 19 to -5 to 14.
There you go. So, he turns around, slashes at you, and catches maybe a few of your tail
Right.
feathers.
And just to remind myself, when I go back to human form, I stay with the same hit points. I don't
Yeah.
go back to 19.
I think there's
Yeah,
an advanced move that allows you to negate the damage from one attack, but
Right.
that's a later move.
Okay.
Okay, Aglanor. The things are starting to turn bad again. That barrel you have lined up is still lined up to hit a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to stick with it? Or just let it go on its own?
is a
or
slow barrel.
What do you want to do?
Oh, I see. I'm actually pushing it.
Yeah, he got it
No,
off
no,
the
you're up
cart.
on top
it
of
was
it doing a
rolling.
run backwards thing.
Well, then I'm going to shoot my bow and stay on it.
Fritzy got it off of the wagon, and it was rolling. You perhaps gave it a little bit more speed and steered it right towards the line of, as I say, the wolf, the coyote, the lion.
Okay. What I would like to do is to let that go and get my bow and take a shot at the other hurt dwarf.
Okay, go for it.
Did I kill the dwarf that I went for?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
And it's gushing dwarf
No.
blood got all over your legs.
4.
Your owl legs, mind you.
Right. I'm a
4
human. I'm a human now,
misses.
right?
Okay, lose an ammo, please. No. We'll start with that.
Joe, I used my last hold, so I'm back to human form, right?
There you go, yep. Sounds good. And you can also just revert back whenever you want anyway. Right. You can choose to drop everything and go back. Strong Dawn, an arrow whizzes right past your ear. and that wolf that kind of supersized itself is now turned back to attack you.
I want to do a really cool move that I used to do in the gladiator arena.
Okay.
And since my axe is hooked on it, I want to simultaneously pull it and kick at the same time to cause extra damage.
That sounds like a hack and slash.
And you are
for fame and glory.
Aha.
So
Make
this
sure
is
someone's
a
watching.
signature move.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Watch this.
we are going to
Judith.
see this works.
Is this hey everyone watch this?
It's kind of basically like that. Okay, I got 8 and a 6, so the 8 is higher than the 6.
Gosh, that's a
Jeez.
maximum roll.
That's a nice
So
roll.
you rolled
You
14
get
on
a
the dice.
D4. You get an extra D4 because I did bless him again or whatever.
Bless. It's a bard blessing.
I bless
A bard
you.
blessing.
I think that wolf just like evaporated.
We're going to find out what the damage is.
And you get an extra D4.
9.
All right.
Don't you get 2 D4s or just one?
Just one.
He gets one.
Yeah.
Right. That. Let me hold on. I'm rereading the move again, too, so that's all. Because I'm not as familiar with the barbarian as all the other classes, so bear with me a moment. And. Okay. When you do that and you kick, the wolf kind of falls apart on your heel. Your axe comes free, and pieces of the wolf kind of scatter about. And on the backswing, after you rip the thing out of there, you actually hit the bobcat behind you and splatter it as well.
Nice.
All right.
And while that's happening, because
You have a kill counter.
after I ripped the throat out of the dwarf, reverted somewhat inelegantly to my human form. Normally it's very smooth, but because I was getting attacked, so I hit the ground. As I'm turning, I see Strong Dawn, or as I like to call him, Octho Katho Kathi. I see him do that, which is the first first impressive thing I've seen him do. So it's a positive, a little fame and glory in my mind for him. And I, in human form, grab my shillelagh off my back and spin to hit the first dwarf, which was wounded. The one who's wounded, but that I did not kill.
So there was a very first one that got hit by an arrow, kind of a glancing shot, and then there was another one that she has cut.
Right.
So there are 2 left. Would it be the very first one or the one that she cut?
Well,
I'm
remember,
just to be
I was
specific.
fluttering in the third one.
Yes.
And then when I went to
Well,
attack,
I guess on my sheet that was the first one. So
okay.
Sorry, that's the
Yeah, but
Well-
you jumped over.
right, I meant to jump over to the second one she got. Now I'm going after the other one whose throat she tried to slit.
You got it. All right.
And I'm trying to hit him in the head with my shillelagh.
You got it. So that's a hack and slash.
That's a hack and slash.
Yes,
which is
sir.
gonna
I
be
inspired him.
7.
7 total, so you'll deal your damage, and they'll get an attack back on you.
Oh, 1.
A 1, you
Although
say.
he's got to be fairly wounded at this point.
Well, it was 3 previously. 1 more is 4.
While I see kind of like that melee, I've got a nice vantage point. I still have 3 daggers with me, right?
But doesn't he get an attack back on him?
He
you said?
does. Because she said something, I'm curious to see what she's going to
I'm
do.
gonna
Because say she throws a dagger,
throw a
and she
dagger.
misses, it might just hit him.
Oh, crap. All right, I'm going to throw a dagger.
There you go.
I need to shut up.
Is it that there's an attack back?
No,
on me, or
he's
is
going
it
to get an
something
attack
bad happened?
anyway.
Well, that's
but
the
this
thing is he
attack
can
may
use
be
this as
right.
the attack back if you want.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing a dagger at...
Yeah. So that is a volley. Anytime it's not hand to hand, it fits under volley.
Okay.
Oh my! Guess what?
Ooh, someone just got hit with a dagger.
What is your damage with that dagger?
It's 1d8.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
this is
your damage is a D8.
Your damage is always going to be a
Yeah,
D8.
and Mickey, this is
And it's an 8.
That's an 8.
Nice.
this
So,
is conceptually insane. Is that your little throwing dagger does the same damage as it would be if you used a great axe?
right. And here we'll go off topic for a second. Well, I guess on topic, but off the track for a second. Of the way that it works in Dungeon World is your class, that class in this world, can do certain things their own way. So really, what it comes down to is the barbarian has a D10 for damage. So a barbarian with a dagger should do more damage than a rogue with a dagger, right? A halfling holding a dagger. So that's where it makes sense. So the barbarian should be doing more damage. So the barbarian gets a D10 all the time, whereas the thief gets a D8 all the time.
But off topic, what's crazy is the barbarian with a dagger should do less damage than the barbarian with a great axe.
In the game world, though, hit points aren't what you expect.
Right, I understand.
That's the tricky part. I actually, and it's way divergent, but I've contemplated using wounds instead of hit points in this game, but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'm down to 6 hit points.
You know?
And so I am going to...
Is that after you took the dagger?
Yes.
And you took 1 for your armor?
You did not negate one.
I negate 1, so I'm actually at 7.
Yeah, because her throwing daggers are not piercing, by the way. That's a tag on things to ignore armor. Piercing, it's not really ignore, it's ignore a certain amount of armor. Piercing 1 would ignore 1 point of armor.
And if I can, I'm going to revert back to my owl form for the sole purpose of flying
GTFO?
away back to get up next to Fritzy and get out of the battle for a bit.
Okay, so you're going to shapeshift.
Yeah. So
Let's see how that works out.
8, 9, 10.
You're good at that. Mm-hmm. So if you're turning into a winged animal in the effort to get away quickly, then we'll use 1 hold and let you get away from the melee range of this dwarf quickly. And you're on your way back to Fritzy at this point. Aglinor.
So he's not back yet.
He's flying towards you. You just saw him turn into the owl, and he's flying back towards the wagon.
Okay.
You're kind of halfway between the wagon and the edge of the woods.
Would I be aware of how hurt he is? Like, did I see that battle play out, or am I too far away? Or?
What does Shadrach sound like when he's getting hit with a throwing dagger? Would you have cried out in pain or anything?
Civilization, I would have said, "What the bitch?" but since I didn't grow up in Civilization, I probably would have sounded like a wounded coyote.
You can play this for Shadrach. You can play it for Shadrach however you like, but you know now, because as an owl, you got hit by a dwarf carrying a dagger. You could have also thought of this as the other dwarf threw a dagger at you. You don't necessarily know it was the bitch.
Fuck off.
Right. I mean, I would have just kind of on a dagger. I would have squealed and shrieked.
Later, when she asks for her dagger back, you'll probably know.
Yeah.
Can I get it back?
Hey,
for
guy.
Now, right. So yeah, if that's the
You'll
case,
also probably see blood dripping off of my feathers at this point.
that would be pine scented blood.
Pine scented blood.
All right, so I'm going to play another song, and I'm going to do the heal 1d8 damage for my buddy Shadrach.
Let's see how that goes.
6, 7, 8, 10.
10.
Nice.
Perfect.
So you're going to get 1d8 of damage back to you.
I roll it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
1.
All right, good job.
Awesome.
Rock on.
You are healed up.
Now here is where if you keep
We're taking it slow.
If you keep the mentality of Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, you're like, well, crap, he just cast his 1 heal spell. In Dungeon World, he can do this as many times as he wants.
Yeah, I can keep
As a
going
matter
on,
of fact,
so.
unlike the wizard where I take spells away, this is a move for the bard. It doesn't go away. He could fail 20 times in a row and he can still try it. Mm-hmm. So a heal like that, it just, again, a failure advances the story. It doesn't take away his heal, and a success doesn't take away the heal either. He can play you that perfect song all day long.
Awesome.
I think
Well, and I
what's a
can
good
play with
heal
8. I
song?
mean, it is not critical, but it's just not optimal.
What song was it?
I don't know. Oh, for him it was I Touched Myself.
Yeah, but this is a little different, right?
Yeah.
The final countdown.
Countdown.
All right, we can do that. Is that a good heal song for you? Sure. All right.
It's at
Final
least
countdown.
Although
inspiration.
it would give me more than one.
Countdown.
Yes, there's the flute.
There we go. We got it.
All right, Fritzy, what's going on?
All right, so
We sing old
I've
songs.
abandoned my little perch on the wagon, and I'm chasing that barrel.
Okay.
And as the barrel is
So
rolling
the
over
barrel
things,
is just about where the animals are, and you see now the animals after Strong Dawn's spectacular move, the remaining 5 are circling around him, and the barrel's headed right towards the bunch of them.
all right. So as soon as it hits them, I'm going to want to try to smack some faces so that I can finish them off.
Skulls. And are you going to try and do it where they're not noticing you?
I'm hoping that they're noticing the barrel and not me, and then once they're rolled over, they're not paying attention that I'm there. So yes, I'm
Or at least not capable of getting up to
Yes.
killing
Okay.
you.
Now, if it is obvious that they are looking at you and the barrel, what do you do? I'm picturing it in my head. Granted, they're undead and all, but if they're looking in that direction, sure, there's a barrel rolling, but there's this guy in a top hat and a leather coat behind it. How do you not notice?
Especially if they're female undead.
Yeah.
Female undead bobcats, dude.
They're
You're
gonna
just
notice it.
they're going to see you all day long.
So annoying.
And I would say, if anything, the rolling barrel in front of you attracts attention.
right, but they're looking at the barrel, not me.
But you're this is what
But
I'm
I
saying.
am behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's an elf, an out of shape elf in a leather trench coat and a top hat, standing behind a barrel that's rolling.
Huffing and puffing.
Why did they have to be so far away?
Sorry, go on.
Well, I guess if I probably wouldn't do anything except for just chase after that barrel.
Get back here.
Okay. So we'll say the barrel hits him. You started it off, so let me give you a couple of rolls here. And at the same time, Strong Dawn, the barrel hits a couple of these undead animals, and you realize now that there's a barrel that's, once it's through them, it's coming at you. So what I'd like you to do, Mike, is let's do, Chris, what is a damage die for the bard?
6.
A D6. You steered it, so Mike, you roll 2 D6s, and we'll apply 1 each to 2 of these animals.
All right, 6.
Okay, so a 5 on one and a 6
5
on
on
the
one
other.
and a 1 on
Okay.
the other.
Or you could have put a 5 or 6. Up to you.
Well, I'm at 2 animals. One of them each gets a D6. So the first one it hits is this a smaller brown bear that's down on all fours, and when the barrel hits it, it slows down a little before it hits the wolf next to it. But it did look like it kind of skished the bear. Then it bounced off of the wolf, and it's like 2 feet away from Strong Dawn, who does what?
Puts his foot up there to just kind of stop it.
Oh, I'll call that Constitution. You're just going to stop that barrel dead.
Yep.
He's going to put his foot up.
And put my foot up and just kind of
And then he's going to tap it and drink it.
one-handed. The whole barrel.
I brought me my beer
You're
straw.
going to crush it against your head.
Oh my!
Oh,
I see a
6,
one.
7, 6,
7, 6. Which is
6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
What was your? I thought your
No,
Constitution
you
was a
got-
plus
Oh,
two.
Constitution, yeah, 7. My bad.
Good
You're right.
for you.
Big difference between 6 and 7.
Yes.
All right, so you stop it. However, the impact of it as it hits your foot is going to do a D4 of damage to you.
No.
Yeah.
3.
Minus your armor.
Yeah, 3.
So 3. Okay, yeah. So there's that shock of it hitting your foot. It stops cold, but rather than the D6 of damage you would have taken, you take less. As it
And
hits
with
your
how
foot.
cool that was,
Yeah.
I want to do. I just want to throw my arms down on both sides and just kind of do a primal scream
Yeah.
of come get it,
Come and get it.
come and get it, which is a move called "What Are You Waiting For?"
Oh my! I have to read this.
You know, a good healing song for the
When you
bard.
cry out a challenge
I would
to
do
your
anything for
enemies, roll plus
What?
Constitution.
Meatloafs. I would do anything for love.
But I won't do that.
Okay, I got you. Yep.
And I rolled a 10.
This was your taunt.
This is my AOE
Okay.
taunt, so it's a 10.
So at this point, I think you've already described what it looks like.
Yeah.
Throw your arms down and cry out your primal cry. At that point, the everything that's left, so the 4 animals and those 2 dwarves, everybody just turns and
Laser focus.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're going to treat you as, and I'm just going to read it as it is. They treat you as the most obvious threat to be dealt with and ignore your companions.
All right.
Fantastic.
While this is going on,
Yeah.
if I can, and Shadrock looks over to the bard, tries to catch his eye, thinking,
Gives
but
him
not
a wink.
communicating, that perhaps he can get another hit of that little healing spell. But more importantly, I'm going to, at this point, transform into the largest grizzly bear that I can and rush over to assist
Well,
Strong
here's
dog.
the question. What was the largest grizzly bear you encountered your times in the mountains?
It was a 1.2 ton grizzly bear.
All right, now that's the mass. How large was
No.
It was only 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
The fat
Really
bear.
wide bear.
Well, remember,
it? He ate lead for breakfast.
right. So remember, I'm from the mountains
Yeah.
and very high up in the mountains. So I've seen some pretty darn big grizzly bears.
You're coming straight out
So-
of mountain.
Straight out of mountain. Crazy motherfucking named Shad Rock. I'm from Druids with attitude.
Okay, yeah.
But so I mean, on my hind legs, easily 6 and a half feet, grizzly bear, and so
Now,
I'm
as a
transforming.
curiosity, as a human, how tall are you?
Shadrock. That's a good question.
Because if you're a 6 foot human, you're just,
Yeah, you're right.
equal
So
height.
he is
Yeah.
about a 6 foot human. So it's probably a large.
So let's call it
taller
an 8 foot bear.
8 foot bear.
Sounds good.
And I'm transforming with the purpose of dealing damage. And as soon as I can, I'm going to go. I guess I have to see how many holds I have first.
Yeah.
So let
So
me do that.
because of what you've described, what I'll do is something that we kind of said last time. Each of your holds will add a D4 to damage. So
Okay.
when you hit, you can choose to add the damage from the holds.
Right.
Oh, man.
Double
Very
sixes
nice.
plus
Good
Damn.
gosh, man.
All right.
Okay.
And so I'm going to.
So you got 3 holds.
As soon as you allow me, use all of my holds
As soon as you hit something.
to do. Can I use each hold as an attack, or
So
are you saying more
here's
damage?
here's what I'm going to do because Strong Dawn got one of his signature moves off, his starting move of everything is paying attention to him, and
Right.
it literally says ignore your companions. That means they are not paying attention to you. In Dungeon World, if something's not paying attention to you, you deal your damage. You don't have to roll to hit. So as
wow.
it is already, you have a D6, and as you choose for each hold, you can add another D4. So I will let you hit things however you like.
Okay.
So where you were, though, let's try and establish a little position
Right.
in our scene here. You were flying back towards the camp to pick up some healing, to hang out. Actually, you were going to hang out with Fritzy.
Right.
So you were on your way there. You picked up that awesome final countdown 1 point of healing.
Right.
And
This wasn't his song. I got to
so
find his
you're
song.
kind of halfway in between. So you're closer to the animals than you are to the dwarves.
Right.
So with that scene in mind, what's your step?
Right. So my goal at this point was, so I've flown over them.
Yeah.
I've dropped down. The way I see it, I've dropped down here. Strong Dawn is here with the animals around him. So
Yeah.
I'm charging at the animals that are focused on and presumably about to attack or are
Oh, yeah,
attacking him.
definitely.
And
They were already poised to attack.
Right.
I'm thinking of his, and just the scene more so, is that whole idea of every time a hero is surrounded by several things, they don't all just jump in.
Right.
So there's one thing that jumps in and he
Right.
deals with it, and then another thing. So that's how it's
So I'm
going.
sprinting full out at the biggest animal, focusing him. And I'm going to try, since I have 3 holds, I want to go claw, bite on the biggest thing.
Sure, you want to start
But
with
if I
one
kill
at
it
a
with
time,
claw, then
and
I'm
that's-
going to reach out for the next guy next to him
yeah.
and the next guy.
And that's what I'm saying. So you're going to go in there kind of like in a bear rage.
Yeah, I'm in bear rage.
And we'll deal damage to one thing first.
Okay.
And then we'll deal damage again and again, depending on
So a
how many
D6
times
and a
you want to do
D4?
this. Yeah. And as he is teeing
cost
up
you a
there, damn it, Demaya,
Damn it.
he seems to be doing okay with your dagger in his kidney. And what are you doing now? You have the 2 dwarves
So I
now.
have 2 dwarves that
kind
have their
of-
backs to me.
Yeah, they have their backs to you, and they are now like they look like they're getting all pissed off at Strong Dawn.
I am going
They're already
to
starting to plod
Stick
their
'em.
way towards him.
rapier.
You're gonna rape them. That's great.
Slice. Rapier.
Not that kind of game.
It isn't.
Wait, you're going to rape here? Is that
Rape
what you're saying?
right here.
Rape here.
Right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Slice the dwarf that's closest to me, which is
Okay.
which one? Dwarf. I don't know.
Just
we
roll
will
your
pick.
D8.
We will pick the one that had been already damaged by you. We'll go with that guy.
Yeah, sure.
Because the other
Try
one
your
was
backstab.
farther away to begin with.
So does that mean I get backstab?
You are attacking an enemy that is unaware of you.
So that's backstab.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I'm gonna go for it.
Go for it.
Yay.
Damn it! I shouldn't have gone for it.
Yeah,
No,
you got a
it's still
9.
more.
That's a 9.
Right. So you'll
So I
add a
get 1.
D6.
So I'm gonna add a d6. Why not?
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn.
12.
There you go.
Nice. So that guy is indeed finished off. How do you finish him off? Where does
He
that
is
rapier
right.
go?
Coup de grace.
Yeah, but where? Like,
So I don't know.
what? I mean,
It's a
if you're good at
stabbing
this,
weapon.
what is it? How do you normally do it?
Oh, when I go for a kill shot, I always stab up and through their heart. So under the ribs,
Okay.
straight up to the heart. to get
There you go.
maximum penetration and
That's
blood
what
loss.
happens.
Through
Maximum
a lump.
penetration in the rape here.
Well, the thing is, too, he had his back to her, so she had to give him the reach around for the maximum
Gotcha.
penetration.
Of course.
I could always go in from behind.
Right through his heart.
Whatever.
I've never been.
You're not picky about it, right? I mean,
All right, so we got that. Strong Dawn, he's going to be the bear's swinging at a couple things right in front of you. So let's get some damage.
So I rolled all three already. I don't
Already?
know.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I
what's
don't
the
know.
first one?
I rolled for my damage
Yeah.
6 on the first one.
Okay, so I'm going to go in the order I have them. I have a wolf, and that will defeat the wolf.
Okay. I then,
And as a bear, you're just like swatting their decaying corpses flat into the ground.
if I get my next, so that's one hold.
Yeah. Now, on that hold, did you add a D4?
I did, although I realize now Okay, so I had one hold to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that 6 is my second hold. And then my third hold, I rolled a 3, including the D4. 3 damage.
Okay, the first damage we did. What's the second damage?
3.
3, okay. And then the third?
I'm not sure
You wouldn't get another
do I get
hold.
a
You had 3 holds.
Right.
So you're not
when
counting
you
him
use
getting
the
there
third one,
as a hold.
When you use the third one is when you transform back.
Okay, so the third one is, if I get 3 attacks, my third one was a 4.
Okay. Okay, so then that will take out, so you'll take out the wolf and the coyote next to it.
Okay?
Okay, so
That's
you'll
gotta
kind
help
of,
you out.
you make a mess of those, and as you put it last time, not so gracefully return back to your human form. And,
Well, no, see, if they don't deal damage to me, I return gracefully. So I kind of
Oh, okay.
roll out of it into ready position. But if they've hit me on, like if I rolled a 7 and 9 and I've taken damage, then it's not graceful. That's how I was thinking about it.
all right. And Strong Dawn. Now I've got a lion and something I hadn't named yet. Somebody give me another
A
animal.
liger.
A liger.
I don't know what that is.
It's a lion-tiger
Lion
hybrid.
and a tiger. It's like
okay.
the greatest animal ever.
Okay, so it's a Sharknado.
It's my favorite.
Sharknado.
Sharknado.
But really, I have a lion and anyone? A real
A
animal?
mountain lion.
That's
That's
gay.
a
puma.
lion.
Okay.
It's a puma.
A camel.
How are all these
I already
animals on
wrote
an
mountain
island?
lion. They were all dead. They were
Turtle.
They were raised from a museum. If you need a real answer, how are you a
Thinking about
wizard?
Mountain animals, but you're right. It's not really. Maybe it's a cow.
No, he'd just be eating the grass and it'd be falling out of his rotten stomach, you know?
So anyway, they now you are their primary target, and they are leaping towards you. A mountain and a mountain lion. A lion and a mountain lion. Gosh,
This is the epitome of gloriousness.
is it? Because
It
everyone's
is.
watching, including
It
the
is.
bad guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I am going to use that to trigger my appetite for fame and glory,
All right.
because this is only adding to my stature.
Let's see.
I don't know if this is a better roll than 2d6 or not. That's the
We're going to
question.
find out. So it's a D6 and a D8.
8 and a 3. Perfect.
All right, so there you go. The D6 was not the higher die, and that's hack and slash.
Hack and slash on the
So what is your total?
the damage?
No, what is your total roll?
There isn't.
You rolled a D6 and a D8.
Yeah, so the total between is an 11, but it's a success if the D8 is higher than the D6. If the D6 is the higher of the two, a complication or danger comes about.
But so what's happening here is you're doing the move of hack and slash. Okay, so what were the 2 dice?
11.
11 plus strength.
It doesn't say to add strength.
But it says when you're performing a move that you would roll 2d6 for, you do a D6 and a D8.
Okay.
So you're still doing a D6
So,
and a D8 plus strength
12.
because it's hack and slash. If you did this with a volley, it'd be a D6 and a D8 plus dex.
Okay. Fair enough. So it's a 12.
So a total 12. Okay, good. I just want to make sure we're getting the pieces in place there.
I
and
understand
then
more.
You got it. And now do your damage.
I am attacking the puma.
The mountain lion.
9.
9.
Nice.
Okay, so again, the axe just goes right through the thing. You hardly feel any resistance as the axe just cleaves through. And you gargle in its face.
His breath.
Well, I didn't want to roar
And
because
you
then
teabag him and then and he gargles.
Its blood smells like curry.
It does. I'm sure it does. It's not
curry
pine.
does smell kind of funky sometimes.
Sometimes.
So we have now one dwarf and one lion left. If you want to think about it for a minute as a party, how would you want to handle the end of this?
We don't want to
encounter?
kill the last dwarf, right? Because we need info.
I don't know. It speaks Swedish chef, so I don't know.
Do we know? Do I
Since-
know if anyone speaks dwarf?
You might have an intelligent person around who could figure things out.
I'm
Yeah.
intelligent, and
Might be able to speak animal.
and people haven't really been paying attention to me, so
That's pretty
I
much.
feel like I could sneak around and maybe clock him with the staff and knock
Sure.
him out.
Or charm 'em.
because he's got everybody coming at him, even though
Oh yeah,
there's
I could
only the
charm
lion
him.
and the
Yeah.
dwarf
That would be even
left.
better. So I'm gonna sneak around him and then like face palm him.
Okay.
Baseball.
Now, technically, as far as mechanics go, you don't have to sneak. You can say it, but you don't have to because he's paying attention to him. He's
Right.
actually on a little trot towards him, towards
Right.
Strong Dawn.
So I'm sneaking
You're going to wrap the stiff arm.
sort of as good as a wizard would, and then just stiff arm face palm him
Okay.
and charm him.
Let's roll that charm person spell. Hey, buddy.
All right,
Nice.
that's 11.
11. So that is a complete success of the charm person. Now let's read it again because we didn't get past that you had to touch somebody.
All right, that person, not a beast or monster, you touch while casting the spell counts you as a friend until they take damage or you prove otherwise.
He's not a monster, right?
That is
He's a
correct.
He's just a dwarf.
Yes. So in this, Demaya, I can't remember that damn name. Demaya sees that dwarf.
so you can actually see it.
That dwarf kind of turns towards Fritzy, and you hear all of those same syllables over again, like "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. blah, 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 blah.
So I recognize that he's no longer a threat.
Oh, he's definitely smiling at Fritzy, and he's admiring the top hat.
So I'm going
yeah,
to.
nice.
I mean, he's got to look way up to see it, but
His sewing skills are probably better than Fritzy's.
it could be.
So I'm going to go towards the last remaining creature.
That would be the lion who is getting ready to go after Mr. Strong Dawn.
So he does not see me.
Correct?
Rapier him in the butt.
Backstab. I've always wanted a lion.
Butt
pelt.
rapier. Surprise, butt rapier.
Just do it.
Go for it.
Poor
This
lions.
is going to be your backstab roll.
Bam.
So now you get
Perfect.
to add 2d6.
So now what I can tell you is describe it however you want, but you are going to eviscerate it.
Fantastic. All right, so he's pacing the barbarian.
Yes.
So she kind of does this run slice. She wants to slice underneath the belly because that's the cleanest cut for a pelt.
Sure. It's undead. There's nothing clean about it.
No,
Yeah.
yuck.
You can
Yuck.
still do it.
So, because I mean, when you cut from stem to stern, it just drops its guts, and if it were alive, right?
Yeah. Well,
mean-
its rotting intestines fall onto you.
That's
as you
fine.
do
Just,
this.
do it.
the reason you slide so well is because the intestines are already dropping and lubricating
Yeah,
the ground.
that's right.
You skate across the ground on rotting intestines.
Essentially, I just want to eviscerate it, and
Yes.
skin it, and just make.
You want to
nasty
try to
things
steal the
happen
shell,
to
I
it.
understand.
You
Yeah.
got it.
So I get to choose 2 though. So I deal my damage plus 6, and then do I get to create advantage or reduce?
You can also just roll
That's-
2d6.
Well, this was kind of what I was saying. You're killing it. But I
Okay,
wanted
well-
to
You
see
can just
how
do
you
d8
wanted
plus
to kill it.
2d6 if you want
So
to
you got it.
want
Yeah.
the number.
You're
It's
welcome
dead.
to roll it, but it's dead.
It's dead.
It's dead. Okay, so now we have Fritzy with the dwarf, and the other 2 guys are making their way around the wagon, finally ready to look at what's going on. So Borden peeks his head around the wagon and sees Fritzy talking. Well, maybe not talking with the dwarf, but the dwarf definitely talking to Fritzy. And Borden says, "I know that guy." And that's where we're going to stop for this time. So we're gonna wrap this one up at the end of that encounter, and a lot of this to me was to try and get into the Dungeon World combat. So I kind of steered it in different directions, and we let people do a lot of different things. It may not have flowed as smoothly as it could have. However, I wanted to make sure everybody was getting turns and let people sit out for a couple of minutes based on magic missile blowing up in your face or completely missing something, what have you. How do you guys think it went overall?
That was good.
Yeah, it's fine.
I wish that I didn't suck it up so much, but I'll get the level up, which will
Yeah,
be
dude,
nice.
Two snake eyes.
When
in
you
a
lose
row.
magic missile, you're just like,
I-
well,
yeah.
I'm out. You know.
This takes some getting used to for me.
Yeah.
Do you have no weapons other than the staff?
No, not really.
Lift your mic up.
Not even a dagger.
There you go.
No, because it was either a staff or a dagger, and neither of them really helped me that much.
Yeah, he doesn't really have the dexterity or the strength to pull
No.
it off. As that's my main thing. His main thing is the spells.
Right.
But now I'll get another spell, so that'll be nice.
I really like the combat in this a lot, just because it's so creative. I mean, you had said to us last session, think of it like a movie. What would you be doing if this was an action movie? And it's less mechanical. I mean, I like D&D, but it's less mechanical than D&D combat.
That's kind of like what I like as well, because I mean, I can kind of see it in my head. You're over there kind of squawking in front of the thing, and
Yeah.
It also
there's a barrel rolling, and
right. It also feels to me much more. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but
Fluid.
it feels to me like everything is going on at once, whereas D&D feels because it's turn-based, very iterative. Like you do this, then you do this. Whereas when I vision this battle in my head, all of it is happening simultaneously, even though we're talking in turns. Like while she's doing that, I'm over here with and I see it visually all at once in a way that I don't with D&D.
I think the best part about this game is the fact that you don't transition from role-playing mode to tabletop mode. You know what I'm saying? You don't go to, okay, now we're on the grid map, all the role-playing stuff's out the window, we're playing a board game now for the combat. You get to stay in your character, you stay in the role-playing for the duration of the combat, too.
I like them both. They're different, but I really like this so far.
Cool.
it's just it takes getting used to for me, anyways, because I'm used to that. Okay, it's his turn. All right, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next.
And there's an advantage to being more descriptive. Like when he's like, "How do you want to finish them off?" Like if I'd been doing that, I would have like jumped on his back with the 2 daggers straight into the shoulder, neck, and then that it makes no difference. He's going to die either way. But maybe that gives Joe something to play off of, or particularly if it, like let's say you rolled a 7 on that move and you killed him. But depending on how you attack, Joe may go a totally different direction. Whether you're sliding under him or jumping on top of him or whatever.
Yeah, I like the whole sliding underneath, covered in guts.
For a classy babe like Demaya.
She's gonna get up and just be like, just covered in guts and just like deadpan look, just wipe her rapier and put it away. You guys are like, that's
One of these should have been Undead Beaver, so you can have rolled around an Undead Beaver.
I want that pelt.
All right, so we're going to call it for now, and we'll see you next time at Adventures from the Shed. Everyone want to say?
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Peanuts.
After a harrowing battle with undead animals and chanting dwarves, the party is faced with a mystery when Borden Hackshield recognizes one of the dwarves. Tune in for the next episode to see what they do next. Thanks for joining us. The preceding podcast was brought to you by Shedcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.